This is Josiah Plays Dungeons and Dragons. This is Beneath. No, it's not. This is The Shattered Crown with DM Scito, a 5th edition Dark Sun campaign. With me are my fellow players Tim and Knox, and our DM Scito. We are ready to begin.
All right. So, in the last episode, or session, I should say, episode's a different thing. This is still the second episode. Remember how you thought the first episode was just going to be sort of a strange anomaly that was super long?
I remember running through the desert a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Anyway.
you and I have different definitions of the word episode.
Well, this is session 8 of episode 2. In the last session, you three woke up in the inn in Sada, only to discover that Romway had disappeared in the middle of the night, the tiefling girl who worked at the inn there, and were begged by a tearful Stalaga to go out and try and find her. Doing so, you trekked north and came across an encounter of horrifying beings known as Belgoi. And after an extremely harsh battle, which almost looked like it would end in your defeat, you were saved by Tikchiklin, whose name is still a difficulty for me to pronounce. And so now you are right now standing amidst the battered corpses of the many Belgoi. Romway has been saved and is currently clinging to Sinclair's leg, and Tikchiklin is, yes, okay, everyone does a chicken, okay, is watching over all this. So, what do you do?
I'm gonna try to cast Mending to fix my G.
Unfortunately, the break in it is too severe for it just be fixed with simple mending.
Can you try and cast Mending to cure my hit point?
I don't have any spells left to heal anybody. We need to rest. Well, we had already spoken with Chicken last time and told him thanks for coming and stuff. We got the girl out of the cage, so...
Yeah, let's just rifle through the corpses and head out.
Yeah, Tim, you had actually said that you'd want to do something specifically here, though I don't know what it was.
It was rifle through the corpses.
Okay. Rifling through the corpses, you find a collection of random scarab bits of clothing and detritus. You find also things such as charms made from bone, and you're fairly certain it's humanoid in nature. But in terms of loot that you... Where is it? Oh. In terms of loot that you would be more interested in, you find 2 short bows, a long bow, 4 nets, 43 bow and arrows, and 7 bells.
What are the bells made out of?
Bone. But the bone is sort of enameled in such a way that it works like a bell.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you guys love the sound of those things. Oh, Nox.
Those things are bell shit. How far away from town are we?
You're a few hours out. It's right now about, based on your estimation, about 2:30 in the afternoon. So you're looking at about 3-4 hours to get back to town. Maybe less if you're able to sort of forge a path more efficiently this time around.
If it's taking a bit to a while to loot the corpses, Corwin will try to ritual cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You do so. In terms of magic, you're detecting. You're not really detecting anything except slight psionic emanations coming from the bells. You'd think that this is likely residual. Sinclair, if you're there, you might also be able to sense this to an extent. But it's likely not something that's an inherent property of the bells, so it's probably not. You probably won't be able to get extra for the bells because they're psionically enchanted or anything like that.
Corwin will somewhat grumble to himself, and just to sort of confirm to himself, he'll take one of the bells and sort of rattle it like an insect or something that goes by, just to see if it'll fall asleep. And, when it doesn't, he'll just sort of harumph to himself.
Yeah, actually, you fall asleep immediately and fall into that pit. No,
Nice.
no, nothing happens.
Jomo very tired. Didn't get enough sleep in the fight.
Well, I don't think I can help get you to sleep with these damn bell things either. Magic's just not compatible.
Well, yeah, let's head back and get this girl back to the tavern. I'm sure that Stalaga's pretty.
Yes, it would be good to get the young one there soon. Come, Tekmak. I can take you there. I can show you a faster path. And
That would be appreciated.
he nods and he picks up the broken remains of his tricol and begins leading you off. So did you take any of the things that you found?
Not me. I'm good on everything.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't really take anything.
Corbin will take the set of bells, the set of 7 bells, but that's probably going to be about it. He can't hold too much more on his own.
Okay. So yeah, you begin traveling south. True to his word, he shows you a quicker path over the sand dunes, and about an hour's passed, you trundling along, and Chitlin. Oh, it actually is almost tempting just to call him to chicken. Sort of comes up to you, Sinclair, and he says, "So, at the last sight of at the last sight of combat, you found something, yes? You Chuck, yes?"
Yeah, we did find something. I know exactly what it is, and I'm not using extra words to stall while I'm pulling up my notes.
Paper. Yes, you found something written on paper.
Yeah, it was the note that Kresh had stolen from the guard. It was proof that the head of the guards was working with that traitor Rye.
Well, in fairness, technically Rye wasn't a traitor. Rye was actually doing the exact thing demanded of her. It's not like she actually was a citizen of Tyr.
Oh, I meant Trader. I thought she was posing as a traitor.
Okay. So do you communicate any of that to him?
Oh, yeah, I said all of that.
Okay. Grave tidings indeed. And this this knowledge, will you share it with others?
Oh, absolutely.
As you say that, you hear a voice from. Well, actually, what order would you be walking? Assuming that that Sinclair and Tick are walking together. What where would Corwin and Jomo be?
Corbin would be behind them. He's not really in the best shape to be up in the front, so he would kind of be lingering in the back and kind of keeping watch for anything else that might decide to come by, like that lovely creature we saw out in the desert once before.
Or if there's more raw cacti, I should say.
True.
Good point.
All right. Well, I'll assume that Jomo's also behind. So you hear a voice from behind you. Hey. And looking back, you can see it's Sirshu, and she's making she's motioning at you. Why? Don't tell him about that. You'll lose all your leverage. The whole point is that if you have that document, you can sell the information to Ven or something like that. Think about it.
So the thing, Tick Chicklin, is that the evil spirits within me want me to sell this information to an already impoverished and clearly weakened town. But I think I'm going to strive to do the right thing and let the elders know exactly what's happening.
This may be the righteous course, though I worry it might make no difference. Ultimately, it is still the town controlled by Vorden, and as such, it is the Vorden commander who has say there.
Even if he's willing to betray the town to another nation?
Who else would stand up against him? I understand, and I thank you for sharing this child with me. But this knowledge alone amongst the populace, I do not know if that will be enough to thwart any such plans. Perhaps it would be best if you found those who are higher up, those who are Haz to Akmil. Yes, leaders. At this, you hear Sirshu say, "Right. And see, he has a good point there. You could sell it to, you could easily sell it to the people of Vorden. I mean, come on. I'm sure they pay quite a handsome bounty for this information."
Why do you care what we do with it? Or if we sell it?
Do you say this out loud?
Yeah, I'm too tired to give a shit.
Because again, my well-being is sort of tied to yours, and I'm very tired of being in a shack which has a hole in the roof. Chicklin Flynn looks behind you and says, "Who do you speak with?"
You know how it is. Spirits be crazy.
Ah, yes. Spirits indeed be crazy. He is ick. Chicklin turns to you. Who? Oh, I'm having a Sinclair. Turns to you. He is.
Yeah, he is
crazy.
ick in the head for sure.
Ah, very good.
Ick in the membrane. Ick in the brain. Joma says that out loud. Not really. I'm just kidding.
Well, actually, I mean, if you want to be fully Thrycreen, it would be ick in the chalk.
I like ick chalks and I cannot lie. That doesn't even work in any context.
No, it doesn't. And that's why you're ick in the chalk. So, Chicklin continues to lead you back to the out until finally, after another hour or so of walking, you reach the outskirts of. Oh, I should also note what are you doing with Ronway? Are any of you carrying her, or are you just letting her walk behind? What's happening?
Well,
She's
seems
very
like
quiet.
She's perfectly able to walk, right?
Yeah, she can walk. She's also 8.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want her to be upset or anything, so I'd be trying to keep her close. And if she feels like she needs to be tugged around, we can do that. But if not, just have her walk.
Okay. All right. Making a child walk for hours in a desert. Totally cool. Totally cool.
This is Athos, not Friendship Island.
Nobody was carrying me around when I was 8.
Well,
one does not carry. That's a pretty old kid to carry around.
Yes, but I'm also putting into consideration the fact that she was both kidnapped and is walking in the desert in rags.
This is all for her good. These experiences
Corwin can
make
barely
her
carry
tougher.
what he has.
It's true. It's true. It might actually over-encumber, even though you again have a wagon now, so you really don't have an excuse for not being able to carry things. You should be storing some of that shit, yo.
I ask her if she's thirsty, and when she says yes, I'm like, here then. And I give her like 24 pounds of water to carry.
Here's the large water skin. Here's 140 pounds of water.
No, okay, but she does about partway through ask if you have any water or anything.
Yeah, I'll give her some.
Okay. She doesn't consume much, so you just really a few sips, so you don't have to change your sheet or anything. Anyways, eventually you reach the familiar outskirts of Sada. Chicklin bows and says, I must return to my own home in the hills. Think well on what you have told me, and again, thank you for your assistance.
Thank you for yours.
It is an honor to assist those who have nobility of spirit.
It was an honor to meet you, Korean friend.
He again just sort of nods and wanders off, and you're now on the outskirts of Sada. So, Romway is pointing a bit excitedly and just says, I can't believe we made it. Thank you so much. Can we go see can we go see Stalaga now? And it's somewhat clear that she doesn't really want to leave your side just yet, because she's still, a little bit frightened something could happen.
Yeah, of course we can. We'll go there now.
All right. You walk in through the back gate. And one of the guard that sees you walk in, sort of is looking at you, and he has a very puzzled look on his face, given that you are walking back with a child which supposedly had disappeared, and you in fact note that there's a few groups of people who are suddenly pausing and taking notice of you, and having come back in the bloodied state that you are, and with again a child who supposedly disappeared. You can hear a few murmurs of, "I thought Salaga said that she was gone. What? How they? Do you think that they found the others?" Do you do anything, or do you just continue on to the Pale Bosrog?
I wouldn't do anything now.
I trundle on.
Nobly trundling. So you head on to the Pale Bosrog, where Stalaga, clearly just worn ragged by all the worry. Suddenly her eyes light up when she sees Ronway's small frame, and Ronway finally lets go of your hand, Sinclair, and runs up to Stalaga. "Oh, Ronway! Stalaga!" And the two hug, and Stalaga, being a mole, basically just scoops her up and just grabs her and hugs her tightly. Tears are coming from her eyes. She goes, You, thank you. How did you do this?"
She was taken by Belgoy. Same as everybody else. The others all dead. She the only one that lived. We killed the ones that did it. It's over now.
She stops, and you can sort of see a very visible shifting of expressions as she talks, as you talk, at the sound that the first mention of the others. Her eyes sort of light up at expectation, but as soon as you say they're all dead, they suddenly become downcast. A sort of resignation to knowledge that really she already sort of knew in her heart. And eventually she just turns back towards Ronway, just grateful that someone that she thought was gone had survived. And this goes on for about 15 or so minutes. You also can hear again, appears to be a small crowd forming outside of the Pale Bosrog, of people whispering about someone having returned with one of the disappeared. And even a few guards appear to have come to investigate. So, do you do anything while she's
I sit down at a table in the Pale Bosrog.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same. I figure I'm pretty tired. So.
If they want to talk to me, they can come talk to me while I'm sitting down.
Yeah, Corin kind of slumps in a chair as well.
No one has come in yet. Stalaga basically says, I thank you. You have done more for me and for this village than you could ever know. This is, even though it's horrible as to what's happened to the others, from what little Ronway has said to me, uh, it sounds as if you've stopped them. These beasts that were taking all of our friends and family. And she just sort of is stifling back tears again. I thank you so much. Look, as I want you to, I want you to know that you're more than welcome to stay here at the Pale Bosrog for as long as you need to, and the private room is yours whenever you want it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. That's quite kind of you.
The
Yes.
girl is probably hungry.
I've already given her some Karu meat. She quite likes Karu.
So you took care of her?
God damn it. Anyways. So do you, say anything else, or do you just crack puns? Mr. Man.
Mostly puns, I think.
Okay, well.
I don't know. I'm feeling kind of pugnacious.
Anyways, as you're sort of talking about this, you suddenly hear the voices outside of someone saying, out of the way, and Akmiel, and following him, a very clearly agitated Edu come in. Edu says, Ronway, she's back. I can't believe it. And does this mean that you quiet Edu? Akmiel shoots a glare over at him. You three. It's come to my attention that you may have found something out there in the desert.
Actually, do we in character even know that they're Belgoy?
I would say that Tikchitlin would have let you know, and probably, you know what, Nox, given they are Fae, Nox probably has also heard of them. So yeah, that knowledge probably would have been disseminated, unless for some reason I imagine that Tikchitlin would have let you guys know. Anyone who didn't, so, and again, Corwin could have let you guys know as well.
True.
We did, with Chicklin's help.
And where are they? Yes, where are the missing? What happened to them? And where are these? And where are the things that did this?
They're all in the same place, aren't they? All up north by the ruins. Cages and bones and dread Fae with their bells, the damn Belgoy.
Akmiel sort of gives you a look over and says, "So what you're saying is that the creatures that were doing this are gone?"
Oh, they're quite gone, all right, unless there's got some more dread creatures out there, but I'm pretty sure they're all done for.
Edu, though, he comes over and says, "But our friends and family, they... What has happened to them?"
They were dark fae. Dark fae indeed. They feasted on them. There's only thing left of them are bone. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, and Edu looks extremely distraught by this. Well, you fulfilled your oath to find then the disappearing, and I shall fulfill my end of the bargain and give you what little I can as a reward. And he begins reaching for his coin purse. Alternatively, I could provide you with some ore that we have here, if Akmiel would allow me to. To which Akmiel sort of grumps, harumps, and begins moving outside, already giving out commands to his men to form a party to begin searching up north.
Jomo not need your money or your ore. Not for this.
Are you sure?
I only speak for myself. I don't know about them.
And he sort of turns to you, Corwin, and you, Sinclair.
I will gladly take whatever ore you take off of that guardsman. You should know he's dirty. He's selling this place out.
I'm sorry? And Stalaga also sort of perks up at this. She had gone over to check on Romway and says, "Yeah, what are you saying?"
He was in league with Rye. They were both doing what everyone assumed Rye was doing.
You mean that Rye was an agent of Oruk?
Yes.
That is troubling news indeed. And you were saying that she is working with Akmil? That is quite the claim to make. What proof do you have of this?
I don't. I wish we could give you something, but just know that in the course of our travels, we confirmed this.
Well, ordinarily I would say that I would need more in the way of proof, as would I, Stalaga sort of chimes in. But seeing as what you've done here, I believe I owe you the benefit of the doubt. And if you say that Akmil is indeed working with Ulrich, then I will take this into consideration. Very, very serious consideration.
I thought Akmil was standing right there.
No, he had gone out to speak with the other guards. He left by this point.
Oh, right, he left. Okay.
Yeah, they're finally going up north to search.
Although I resent your implication that you've made there, Tim. Everybody knows there's no such thing as a dirty guard.
That's true. This is only happening because we're in a fantasy setting.
I remember that time in Waterdeep where dirty guards captured me, put me in a jail cell after I'd lost my friend. That was some bullshit.
Good times.
Yeah.
2 friends, actually.
Oh. Anyways, so, Sinclair, do you, and Corwin, do you want anything from this guy or not?
Like I said, if he's taking ore from Akmil, I'll take as much of that as he wants to get.
All right. He sort of says, "I'll bring you some of our some ore from the trade house in the morning. I likely can find some iron that you should be able to sell at a good price."
Any ore these days is quite the miracle.
Is
Yes.
there a weaponsmith in town?
No weaponsmith, I'm afraid. And I don't believe I could get you enough ore to forge an entire weapon, or like, it honestly would be best if you sold it on. Anyways, he sort of straightens out his shirt and everything and goes, I will also tell the people of the village what has happened to their loved ones. It should come from me.
I wish the news was better.
As do I. And he walks out, and you can hear him sort of giving an explanation to the townsfolk, which is immediately met with simultaneous cries of outrage. Some people who seem to be denying it outright that their loved ones are gone, and others who seem just glad that it's over. Stalaga, with a sort of weary look, says, As I said, the room upstairs is yours to use. I am going to spend some time with Ronway, if that's all right with you.
I'd say most definitely. Before you go, though, would you mind if I have an ale?
Of course. And she goes over with a sort of trembly hand. She grabs a mug and fills it to the brim with ale, which she then brings over to your table.
Okay, yeah, and Corwin will have the 5 coppers ready.
You don't need to pay anything. It's fine.
Thank you kindly. To your health, and he'll sort of toast her as I assume she would go, and he'll take a deep drink of it.
All right.
Jomo says to her, "The girl has been through a terrible ordeal. Be kind to her."
She nods at you, and wordlessly, you get a deep sense of appreciation for your concern as she heads off to the back room where Romway has gone. So,
Okay, once we are kind of alone, I will just look at my companions here and say I didn't want to give them Crush's notes or the note we found about Rye. I figured it was... I can't remember anybody's name. Shit. Who's the guy that sent us here in the first place? Ven,
yeah.
I figured Ven give us this job and he would want to have final say in what happens with that.
Yeah, you're probably right. I kind of figured when you were talking that you're purposefully kind of leaving that part out.
So you think we got enough information here to take back to him?
Yeah, we know what happened to his man and the man he sent, why it happened. Maybe even have some information that could potentially disrupt his trade route.
Well, I can say that I'm all for getting some reward out of this. Sirshu is just sort of leaning back and relaxing in midair. Honestly, this entire mess has been just one shit show after another.
We're still alive.
And we do technically have a place that doesn't have a hole in the roof now.
Too bad it's so far away from Tyr.
Exactly.
Although, would not really mind staying here, but probably not much to do here now.
So, what do you guys want to do now? I should also note that you guys are, for the first time in a while, you guys are getting some XP, specifically 400 XP.
Ooh.
Damn. Does that bring us up to 800? Am I tracking that right?
That brings you up to 800.
Yay.
So, what do you guys want to do now? Do you want to just spin more yarns here in the tavern, or do you want to go up to your room and rest? What do you want to do?
Well, I probably would see whoever's minding the place while Stalaga's off with Ronway. I just grab the day's food and from the tavern before retiring for the evening.
Oh, there's no one who's minding it. It literally was just Delaga, and she's basically just left. I mean, you can go and ask her if you want.
No, I don't want to bother her. I'll just eat rations or whatever.
Okay.
Well, I'm just gonna sit there at that table. Maybe she'll come back and we can get some food. I mean, rather than sitting in the room upstairs, I might as well sit at the table and see if she comes back. For a while, at least.
Okay. So yeah, is Sinclair, Corwin, are you going to be doing that as well, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm okay with that. I feel like Corbin would kind of like lean back in the chair and maybe somewhat semi-doze off kind of thing.
Okay. So yeah, you wait around for another 2 hours or so, just sort of doing nothing, just relaxing after a hard-fought battle. When Stalaga comes back into the room, she looks up and and goes, "Oh, you're here. You're here still. I thought you might go up to your rooms immediately." Well, I was actually just about to close. It doesn't look like anyone is coming in today.
Is there any chance we could get some food? And water?
That's fine. I can do that. Again, it's completely on the house. And so, is Karu all right for everyone? Or I also have some Erdlu if you don't want that.
Karu's fine with me, thanks.
That's good. I'm gonna pull
That'll
out
work.
a couple of slate pieces. I say, your gratitude appreciated, but you still got expenses. Please take this. I'll give her a couple of slate pieces.
She refuses to take your money. I honestly can't take this. It simply would just go against everything I believe. You've truly earned what meager reward I can provide.
Thank you.
And so she brings out three plates. She hasn't. It's not as fully prepared as it might be. She's still, a little bit of shock. She also brings out a pitcher of water. Uh, so yeah, she brings out to the table as well as some cups. If you need anything else, I'll just be in the other room. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to lock the doors to the inn. And she does so and then heads back into the back room.
Okay. Eating and drinking.
All right, just 1 second. I just need to do one thing.
Got to look out for the small business owner.
She's got expenses.
Okay, I'll probably need to take a break in just about 5 minutes, but other than that, I'm fine. Yep. So, you eat your meals, and it's pretty good. Corin, are you having the Karu or the Erdlu?
Corbin will have the Caro.
Okay. I'm surprised you're having what is the closest thing to a cow in this world.
This is true, but wouldn't want to put her out. And especially since he has lactose ignorance in this regard.
It's true. One day the secret of Haka's moo will be revealed, though. One day.
Indeed. We live and pray.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with Corwin's beliefs, he would never eat a rat, no matter what.
That's true. He did not eat the rat of Wallace.
It's true. They did offer you some cooked rat in Wallace. That place that Sinclair loves so much. You guys have such great memories in so many small villages out there, Wallace, Sind, Raha.
Mm-hmm.
I have yet to give a positive Yelp review.
I think Distra was probably the best.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Distra was probably the best, and that was literally a place that was falling apart.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's about 7:30 now. So what do you guys want to do at this point?
You should probably retire early.
Yeah.
All right. So you head up to your room. It's it only has the one bed, so I don't know if you guys want to have a snuggle party or if you're just going to set out some blankets on the floor or what you want to do.
Well, Corin does have his bedroll with him.
Okay.
And I know Jomo would insist on sleeping on the ground, so...
So Sinclair, you'll make the sacrifice and take the bed?
Yeah, I got this one, guys. Don't even worry about it.
Fenris is happier on the floor anyway, so we can snuggle with Fenris.
All right. And also, just as a note, for all of your role-playing and everything that you've done thus far, each of you has earned another point of inspiration. And could you actually give me how much inspiration you have now? Because I had to reformat my sheet that I'm using to keep track of things.
I have 3 with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I also have 3 now.
So I have that puts me up to 6. But I have been banking it for a while, so if some of it's worn off, that's fine.
I don't think I've given you 6. The last. So
I mean, it bounced around quite a bit, but what put me over is you gave me a bunch for the notes.
True. Okay. Let's say 5.
Okay.
Right? It's 6 sounds like too much, though. I'm apologize if I actually have given you 6, and it's one of the things about my new medication. It has made my short-term memory go to shit.
I get it. I can't remember anything.
Anyways,
your medication has made your memory like mine. But your long-term memory is still good, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's just made things a bit fuzzier around the edges. But I again checked. One thing I did do is check to make sure if it's something that's permanent, and thankfully it's not. So, as long as I know if I went off the medication, I could regain my faculties, and I'm okay with it having a deleterious effect in that regard.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And all right, I just need to quickly take a break, so I'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I should say though, just not suggesting anything, but this might also be a good chance to take a look and just if you were to level up to level 3, what you might want to do.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I'll be back.
Ooh.
Mm.
Level 3 would be so amazing. I remember once upon a time having a specific plan for level 3, and it's lost to time.
I get second level spells.
Same. I get a whole coast of new cantrips.
Gotta look at these second level spells.
Do you guys have links to the books? The one that Scito gave me back in the day is not resolving any longer.
Go to Google and type in The Trove. All one word.
I think yours is special, though, with Mystic, unless you're talking about, I think, your monk section.
Yeah, I was just going to look at the monk first. How is this legal?
Oh, it's not.
Then why is it the #1 search result on Google?
This website, it used to be called Remuse, and it's been up with all these books for a long time and has never been brought down. So I think it's just hosted in some country where they can't do anything about it.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, it used to be rem.uz. UZ is the country code for Uzbekistan, so apparently Uzbekistan gives no fucks about copyright.
Okay. I am back.
Yay.
Welcome back.
Just need to get myself settled back in. Oh, stop. All right. So, you all rest for the night. And what time do you want to wake up?
Oh. I don't know.
Probably went to sleep, I guess, around 8, because you said 7:30 before, give or take-ish. So probably around 4 or 5-ish, probably 5-ish.
Oh, okay. Waking up early.
I'm thinking... I mean, it could be even later or so, but, you know, hot desert sun, you really want to go traipsing along in that kind of...
Okay, well, is everyone good with 5 o'clock?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. You wake up and you can actually already hear the sound of Stalaga downstairs getting things ready for the day. And the smell of food wafting up to your room.
Sounds nice.
So, what do you do?
Morning prayer ritual thing.
Okay.
Complete with fire in the room.
Mm-hmm. Naturally.
Controlled, though.
Mm-hmm. It probably would set a bad precedent if the first village that you saved you then burnt down.
There's a lot of pain here. These people may need a cleansing flame.
True.
Now they can rebuild an even better village if they had the materials.
Yeah. All right. So he's doing his morning prayers. Sinclair, Corwin, what are you doing?
We save Ronway from the Belgoy. Tragically, she dies of smoke inhalation the next day due to prayers gone awry.
Dark.
Yeah, I will just, head down after some of that.
All right. As you head down, Salaga looks up and goes, Ah, good morning. I'm just working on a little something for you all. And you notice that she's been preparing these small packets of what look like rations.
Good morning. How is Runway doing?
She's still sleeping, but she's doing much better.
Excellent.
So, is there anything I can get you while you wait? I imagine that you'll probably want to be moving on fairly soon.
Yeah, we just need to meet up with Edu before heading out.
Of course. If you just give me another half hour or so, I can give you what I've made for you here. And she again points to these packets of food, which are rations, basically.
Very kind, thank you.
This is too kind. Thank you.
Can I get you some water?
That would be
Hi.
great.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Certainly, that wouldn't go amiss.
All right. She fills up a pitcher, puts it out on a table for you with 3 cups. And then she continues going about her work, tying up these little packets of food.
Yeah, Corin will take a cup and fill it and take a draw from it.
All right. I won't make you roleplay just 30 minutes or nothing. So yeah, about half an hour passes, and she finally comes to you with 3 packets of food. This is for you. I hope for the road. I wish I could give more, but there's not. Unfortunately, there's not a terrible amount we have here in Sada. And so each of you have gotten 3 more rations.
Very nice.
Yay. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you kindly. They smell delicious.
I hope you'll enjoy them. Please take them in good health, and Spirit's blessings to you.
Do you have
To
a
you as
little
well.
extra water? Happy to pay for it. To fill up my skin.
No, you don't have to pay. That's fine. And she goes and grabs a She grabs another pitcher of water and fills up your skin, so you now are carrying your full 40 pounds.
Great, thanks.
And Corwin, do you want to have your water skin filled up?
Sure.
All right, you're up to 32 pounds. Although I don't know how much of that you're storing on your on the wagon or what.
He doesn't have any of that stored on the wagon at the moment.
Okay. Well, that might be a reason why you're slightly over encumbered.
Just a little, just a tad. I think he has to slowly get over his phobia of sandstorms and not having enough supplies to get through them and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, when has ever happened except that once?
Exactly.
Right. So you're fully kitted out in water and everything. What do you want to do now?
Well, I guess we're gonna head out and try and find Edu and get that ore packed up and head home.
All right. You leave the Pale Bosrog after Dog gives each of you a farewell.
I will tell Stalaga that I don't know exactly what it means to have the guards working against this town for Uruk, and life on the road as a refugee is not looking good these days, but if everything does go to hell, that they should look for us in Tyr. I'll give her the name of Ven's place and just tell her to talk to Ven and ask for us.
All right, thank you. Ooh, but it's going to take a hell of a lot more than just some Urukites to get me out of this tavern. And she sort of chuckles.
Excellent. I dare say you're right.
Anyways, so you cross the way over to Idu's house, and what do? There's not many people up and about at this time, only a few guards who are keeping watch.
Just probably head to his. I guess if it's too early, head out to the wagon first. Check it out. Make sure everything's ready.
I mean, you could try seeing him now. It's really up to you.
Yeah, no, as I think about it, just go out to the wagon first. Give him some more time.
All right. You head out to the wagon. Everything is where you left it. It has not been ransacked this time by a Urukite spy.
That's good.
I think a guard said something about us settling up the boarding fees, so, just handle that.
All right. And remind myself as to what those were again. Okay. So it's about 5 slate pieces.
Okay, I'll cover that, but I am going to need change for an enamel piece.
Okay. The guard gives you change for an enamel piece, giving you 5 slate pieces back.
Did that include feeding the animal?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna check over. What did we decide to name it?
To kick.
Yeah, I'm gonna check over to Kick and make sure he seems okay and everything.
It's a she.
Make sure she seems okay.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you could use that particular skill that you say applies to everything.
I'm gonna guide myself. Here we go, +1. Yep, all is right with the world.
Nice.
Tikik seems in good health. They weren't poisoning her or anything. They fed her properly and gave her water.
Great.
All right, then once we're all set, just go back and meet up with Urdu.
All right. So you head over to Idu's house and, well, what do?
Knock on the door.
Not having no idea of what the night has in store, you're like a freaking heat. Okay, sorry.
What was that?
You guys never... Me So Horny, 2 Live Crew?
How scandalous. I've heard the name.
It's a classic piece of songwriting and up for our times.
It is.
Yeah, it seems like all my peers
at the time.
It does seem like all of my peers have all the early hip hop songs lyrics memorized. I never did that.
None of my... these are technically before my time. This is when young Scito was just emerging from a chrysalis at this point, so this is technically before my time, really, but no, I've remembered these things because that's just what happens with songs I hear. Yeah.
It's understandable.
Anyways, so you knock on the door, and you hear some rummaging behind as the door opens, and you see Edu standing there. Hello. I suppose you'll be wanting the ore then, yes?
Yeah, we are just getting everything ready to head out. I want to get an early start.
All right, here you go. And he passes over to you a crate that inside of which there are 3 lumps of, and this is actually the first time that any of you would have, well, likely the first time any of you would have touched this, of iron ore.
How big are these lumps?
About the size of your fist.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, what are we going to do with all these lumps?
I was gonna say that.
Well, again, thank you for helping us. And thank you for also telling about Akmil. And he sort of lowers his voice as he says that, looking over at one of the guards there stationed near his house.
If there's any more we can do to assist, we will.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, if you could perhaps, this might be asking too much, but if you could perhaps get word, and he passes you he actually hands you a note. If you could get this to House Warden in Tyr, it would be much appreciated.
Yes, certainly.
Thank you. Well, I suppose you must be going. Know that you'll always be welcome in Sada.
Thank you very much.
And
All right, first town we're welcome back to.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. Didn't get people thinking you're a defiler and then get shot by an arrow? Didn't fall into a pile of shit, literally? You're totally welcome back to. I mean, you're technically welcome back in District.
There were not enough bereaved people to steal garden implements from. That's my only complaint about this.
Yeah. That's
Nice.
Yeah. No, you have to go to the cities for that sort of stuff. That's where you get the good bereaved loot.
All right, onward. Let's pack up this ore and hit the road. Unless you guys have anything else you want to do here. Jomo, you could take another crack at converting Ronway.
She probably want to be left alone now. When we come back.
All right, Scito, we hit the road.
All right, which means that we now return to the map of the Tyr region. So, It's right now about 6 o'clock in the morning, and you head out. So, let me just make sure that everything's... Alright. So yeah. You head out from Sada after about 5 hours of travel, you reach Fort Scones again. Don't know if any of you want to do anything there.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
All right. In that case, you continue on and happen. Okay. And you continue on for another 5 hours about. Until it's now about 6 o'clock in the evening, and your mount is beginning to show signs of growing tired after the long travel.
Jomo, any place you've spotted that might be good to stop for the night?
Drummer will take a look.
You see, you're able to find a small area in between the rocks that looks relatively good to settle down for the night. You can pull the wagon in there and set up your tent.
This looks good. Fenris gonna watch again?
Sure, I can have him keep watch for us.
All right, and time passes, magic of slumber and all that. It's now Haze the 16th, and I don't know how early do you want to wake up? Do you want to just go 8 hours then wake up?
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's not like we can set an alarm.
All right. In that case, then it's about 2 a.m. in the morning when you wake up and set out again. Five hours pass. Make it to about there. Okay. Another 5 hours pass. You're now reaching the outskirts of the many towns and villages that surround the city of Tyr, and it's now the mount is growing tired again. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, not 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 12 o'clock.
How far away are we from Tyr?
You are about 15 miles, so if you wanted to, you could just push the mount to go further.
I would ask Jomo if he thinks that it would be okay to do.
Do I think it would be okay?
Make an animal handling check. Ooh, a 2.
Getting fancy.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you think that you could push to kick to go that far, as long as you give him some food and water once you arrived at your destination.
Yeah, Ticket can make it.
All right. So after another 4 hours of travel about, you finally arrive back at the city of Tyr. Its great gate, the great caravan gate, looming above you as you pass into it. Let's go back to the map of Tyr.
Yay, the map of Tyr.
So, now that you're here, what do you want to do?
Well, we need to stable the wagon and to kick again, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did that at the messenger's mount, right?
Right.
So we should probably go there first.
All right. You head to the messenger's mount, and guy whose name constantly evades. What is his freaking name again? One sec.
What is this cow runs away from police link?
I saw that in another
That's-
channel, and I had to put it up.
All right. And Ebo comes out. Ah, you're back. Just in time, then.
Just in time?
Yes, have you not heard? The Tithian has called their memorial games in Rikus' honor.
I hadn't heard.
Yes, it was only a few days ago since he called it. It's been the talk of all of Tyr. There shall be a great showing down at the stadium, I expect. This is planned for tomorrow, in fact.
Really? Any reason why they've just suddenly declared it?
My guess is as good as yours.
Hey boss, how you doing? Boss Pie's here.
Oh. Hi, boss, unless that's from a while ago. That's from a while ago.
But he could still be here.
He could still be here. So hi, boss, if you're still here. So, what do you want to do now? Do you want to ask him questions? Do you want to just stable the mount? What?
Just stable the mount. Grab
Okay.
grab the things that we collected.
All right. And
Yeah.
where do you want to head to now?
What do you guys think? Go right to Ven?
Well, haven't we been traveling all day plus some?
You've been traveling since 2 o'clock in the morning.
And it's now
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, I guess we're good then. We could go to Ven. I can't believe this cow actually went to Chick-fil-A.
It did.
That's amazing. I would say it had to be some kind of stunt, but how could you possibly make that happen as a stunt? We don't got anywhere else we got to go before then, right?
Well, I mean, we do have that message to drop out off at House Forden, but I think that's about it.
What did the message say?
The message is sealed. Do you open it?
Well, I assume I'm not the one carrying it.
I wouldn't have thought to, no.
All right. So what do you do?
Head to Ven's.
All right. So as you begin making your way along Caravan Way, you actually hear a familiar voice. And when you're with me, my friend, always together we'll be, my friend.
Nice.
No.
And you see who it is, don't you?
Luku Luko.
Yeah. Luku Luko. Why? Is that... Although, who do I spy there? Luku jumps down off of his little pedestal that he was singing atop of. Why, is it if it isn't Corwin, Sinclair, and Joko?
Close enough.
Ah, that's right. And how are you faring?
Why, I'm faring just fine, thank you very much. You three look like you've been through quite an ordeal there. It sounds like there could be a story in that.
There's not.
Are you sure?
No, pretty standard trip, really.
Oh, alright. Well, if you ever do have a story or the like that you want to share, please bring it to me. I've been scratching my head trying to think up a great ballad to sing.
Maybe you should do one without words.
Oh, but people say that my words bring them such joy or such emotion. That's right, that's what they say.
People got jokes.
I could always make a great ballad about the great desert rat.
I still don't know about what that is.
Maybe you gotta show him a painting.
That's true. I do have a couple of paintings, and he's going to go ahead and bring out his picture of the rat rising, and his sketch of the rat against the sunrise.
These are weird.
But aren't they inspiring?
Not really, no.
Oh.
Well, have you all heard about the tournament?
We just heard about that a little bit when we got into the gate.
I hear that actually it was Lady Sadira who's behind the announcement. Though that's just what I've heard by rumors.
Really? Any reason why this sudden desire for this sort of sport?
Well, it's a noble sport, isn't it? I mean, it's not like the blood games of old. It's now dignified like.
No slaves fighting.
No, no slaves, of course not. Here's a free city.
Is the fights to the death, or
No, they don't have fights to death anymore. It, it would be quite an honor, I admit, to be out there fighting on the site where Rikus did his most famous act, and also, I suppose, where they found him dead. And Corwin, as he says that, you have a sort of flashback again to the dream of the person's telling you good job as you stand over Rikus's impaled body.
so? They don't let anybody just fight, though, right?
Well, you'd have to you'd have to check with the Ministry of Arenas, I expect. But I don't know if they let anyone just fight in these games. I mean, these are memorial games after all.
Can anybody go watch?
Yes, of course.
What time are the games?
Oh, they'll begin at 8 o'clock tomorrow at sharp.
I set an alarm for that in my smartphone.
Okay.
Hey Siri, remind me tomorrow at 8 to go to Rickus Memorial Game.
Ding.
Okay.
Hey, Searshoe, remind me.
Okay. I will remind you to do that.
Well, thanks for the information.
All right, but you be sure to let me know if you ever have a story, because I'm telling you, you three look like you have a story you have to tell.
The story of the desert rat.
I still don't think that's a thing.
Well, we'll keep telling it to you until you do.
One day you'll receive enlightenment.
All right, and he just sort of waves at you as you wander off, and he begins singing again. Sirshu sort of urges you to move faster away from him.
Oh, if it annoys Searshoe, I'll sit here and listen for a while.
Oh,
Let me tell you the Ballad of the Belgo.
Do you really want to do that?
I'll even toss I'll toss him a slate piece into his hat or whatever.
Do you want to do that? Because this is a... Oh, shit. Okay, so you actually want to tell him the story?
Oh, I didn't say I want to tell him the story. I'm just giving him a slate piece.
Wow, thank you. Thanks muchly. Ordinarily, I never get that much. Mostly people just throw hard things at me.
Jomo think the spirits impressed by your music. Just sing your loudest song.
All right. And if you should ever leave me, my world would believe me. Heaven and earth would leave me. Spirits only know where I'd be. What I'd be without you. Sirshu is basically just holding her hands over her, well, non-existent ears in an attempt to drown out the noise. Actually, and also Jomo, make a con save. It's very difficult for you to handle this. Your ears actually start to hurt you. You're beginning to feel physical pain.
Okay, stop.
All right. That's more what people say. Anyways, I'll see you later then, friends.
Yes, you have a good day.
And you wander away.
Never to return to this street.
I have a feeling this guy is going to find us.
Anyways. So, quickly hurrying away from Luku Luko, you make your way back to Ven's place. It's now about 4:30 in the afternoon. So as you arrive at Ven's place, you immediately notice one thing. I should say, uh, after you knock on the door, you do notice one thing immediately. The person who answers it isn't the same individual that normally uh, is there. Rather than the half giant guard that you normally see, there's a mole woman who answers the door. What is it?
We're here to see Ven.
All right. You're the law he sent out to Sada.
One and the same.
Yeah, he's been expecting you. And she ushers you in, closing the door behind you and then following you down the dark, dimly lit hallway. Just did a tautology there. Into Ven's room. Ven is sort of sitting at his table, flexing his fingers back and forth, smoking his pipe as usual. Ah, right. Finally, you've made it back. So, what's the word?
Both your men are dead. The town was beset by Belgoy, and both of them fell victim. Well, Kresh was exploring, and something else killed him.
What? They're both dead?
Yes. On top of that, the town's guard is working with Uruk in an attempt to take over, and then I'll hand him all the notes and whatnot we've been able to get.
Alright. So, as at the mention of the Uruk intrigue and all the documents, everything you hand over to him, his eyes have lit up a bit more. He says, "Well, now that is something interesting to know. Maybe Sada won't be a complete write-off then. Well, I suppose you did your work. I'm rather unhappy that we lost Hermes and Kresh as well, but you did bring me the documents, and you did also give me this juicy little bit of information about Thada and Uruk. So I'm thinking fair payment is 50 enamel pieces."
Is that not a ludicrous amount of money?
Well, you made more when you brought back the amethyst from Raha. But
We
it is
also
a very
fought the... Sorry, go ahead.
no. So it's it is a big amount of money. I mean, it's more than a lot of people in Athos see in their lifetime, or yeah, actually, a lot of people see in their lifetimes. But it's not completely crazy.
We also fought the Belgoy. Very tough. That was killing your people. Now they're dead, so it's safe. You could send another agent, and nothing would happen to him.
And that damn desert creature that T'Chiklan was hunting nearly got the best of me.
It was very dangerous.
So what? You're angling for more?
Now, come now, when would you ever know us to do anything like that? Corbin will say as roguishly.
Well, in any case, and he throws a pouch on the table. This is for you. Good work, I guess.
Our thanks, and Corwin will take up the pouch.
Now, even though I'll have some more to plan out for Sada, I think that now I have another job for you. So you say you did a fair amount of battling in Sada?
We did.
Well, how would you say you do some more for a good amount of coin? I'm guessing you've probably heard about the gladiatorial games, right?
Yeah.
We have.
Well, it just so happens that I would like to sponsor a team in there, and I think you three will be perfect for it.
Drummer like it.
I thought you might.
You might want to know that this does sound good. If at some point you were to ask us to alter the outcome of a fight purposely, I doubt Jomo would continue liking it.
Well, look, I'm a fair man, so what say you just attempt your best to win, and I'll bet on you, and that way we all can make a substantial amount of coin. Because honestly, who's going to be putting odds on you?
Sound good. What you guys think?
He's got a fair point.
Yeah, I'm interested in this.
Excellent, and he claps together his ringed fingers. Well, in that case, you can head to the cutting room and speak to Chenna if you need any gears or weapons, and you can get a discount there. Though, if you want something better, you could also head to Grick's Weaponry. Better quality, but I don't have a deal with him. Now, I will say this, though. If you don't want me interfering in your, little business and everything, and if you want... If you want me to continue to employ you, gainfully as I am, I would expect you win. Correct?
We'll do our best.
Do you have a super fast 100 XP side quest? Just saying it would greatly improve our chances.
Did we get 100 XP for coming to turn this into Ben?
Well, maybe you did. So, do we have a deal?
Yeah, we got the deal.
Excellent. In that case, speak to Chenna if you need to get some of your gear repaired. Looks like your spears seen better days. And he sort of tilts his head over at Jomo.
Yeah. It needs some work.
So yeah, what do you want to do now?
Before we leave, I'm just gonna kind of regard Ven a moment and then ask, what is your preference for how things play out in Sada?
What do you mean?
The people there seem very concerned about the possibility of them losing their town to Uruk. They don't want it to happen. Is that in line with what you...
Who can say? Honestly, I'm whatever's best for business. Might be that new administration could be just the thing for Sada.
But you wouldn't object us to taking efforts to ensure that Uruk doesn't gain...
Well, that's a different matter. Would you be attempting to do such a thing?
Hypothetically, if it didn't conflict with your interests?
Well, I would give the advice, then, that it's probably best to do nothing, rather than risk conflicting with my interests, which is not something you want to do.
Okay. Sinclair will nod and then move to leave.
Right. You leave the smoke-filled room and are ushered out. As you are... So, yeah, you're ushered out onto the streets by Ven's place. So, what do you do? First, I should say.
Maybe we go check out the cutting room.
Yeah.
Alright. As you begin heading up the alleys and streets that to the cutting room, a small frame bumps into you, Sinclair.
All right. I'm going to look at the owner of that small frame. Tell him to watch where he's walking with his paintings.
Nice.
All right. And you look down and you see that it's a uncharacteristically worried Zitem, the girl who acts as a runner for Ven. Oh, sorry about that. Didn't see you there.
It's okay. Is everything all right?
She sort of looks over at you three and just sort of shakes her head. No, Kagax, he got himself shanked.
Which one was Kavix?
The big half giant who works for Ven. You must have seen him before.
What is this word, shanked?
He got himself stabbed. Got. Understand?
Why?
Apparently, some tiefling merchant Ven had removed. His brothers weren't too happy about that, and they attacked him.
I can't help but feel completely not responsible for this.
And why should you?
This is the kind of dark shit that happens in cities.
Those wily tieflings.
What a
Anyways,
asshole.
now no Kagax heard, and I mean, I don't... it's clear that she's not very good at expressing her emotions right now.
Well, is he going to be okay?
I think so. I mean, he's a half giant, right? They're hardy.
Where they at? I could help his wounds.
I mean, he's back at my place. If you want to help out, I mean, okay. I
Tell
won't
that
object to
fucker to spend some hit dice. And shut up.
So, do you want her to have her lead you to her home?
You guys mind take a quick side trip?
No, of course not.
Sure, that's fine.
Lead the way.
All right. So she leads you back down past Ven's place into a small little, into a small little dank building. And as she pushes open the door, which is basically more a collection of planks that have been loosely held together with rope than an actual door, you see Kagak lying there on the floor, breathing heavily as he's holding his chest.
I'm gonna examine his injuries.
All right, that will be a medicine check.
Flame, guide me.
Okay. Yeah, it was a pretty deep stab. It actually looks like he might have nicked his lung.
This look pretty bad. I can help heal this, but it will be very painful. Your choice.
Oh. Zitem, who are these? Wait, it's you three. What are you doing here?
Here to help you.
I don't need any help. I'm fine. And as he coughs, he inevitably coughs up some blood that splatters on your clothes.
Being bespattered doesn't bother Jomo. You sure?
Zitem sort of looks at you and goes, Don't listen to him. Trust me, he'll take any help he can get, won't you? And Kagak just sort of grunts.
It's not gonna be pleasant. I don't want you to hit me.
Then don't make it so unpleasant.
Surely a strapping half-giant like him would be able to handle the pain of recovery.
Hold down his arms just to be sure.
Okay. Do you want to try and do that?
I mean, yeah. My 10 strength against a half giant. I got this.
All right.
Well, he's
It's-
badly wounded, though.
Sure.
All right. So Corwin and Sinclair each take an arm, and Zitem sort of puts her hand on, tries to help out on Corwin's side. She seems to think that Corwin might be the slightly, flimsier of the group.
But when it comes to deception, he's a motherfucking sage.
Nice.
Does he make you think you're living in another age?
He does. All right. Well,
Hold on, I have something for this. I can focus on brute force. Give
hey,
myself a
Enigma
little
Soul.
edge.
How you doing, Enigma?
Corwin briefly considers giving him laughter therapy, but decides that's really not a good idea.
Probably not. Probably not. Let's not forget the last time, again, that in a populated area you decide to use magic.
Yeah, I'll save that for the stadium when like all of Tyr is watching.
Mm-hmm. That'd be the best time to do it.
Yeah, like pull out some skywriting. That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
So Jomo's hands begin to glow with a holy fire. I lay them upon him, and I say, "Let the great flame purify this body!" And I channel the heat into his wounds with a cure wounds.
All right.
And if it looks like he's still pretty badly hurt, I'll do it again.
All right, well, first thing, though, I'm going to need Corwin and Sinclair to make a strength saving throw.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so I've got advantage and +5 for this.
Okay.
I go flying into the roof.
Yeah, Sinclair, you get... So, you have advantage +5, Sinclair?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you hold down his arm. Despite not looking at, you are able to channel a mass amount of strength. But Corwin, you get just chucked aside as a fist comes towards you, Jomo. So I'm gonna need you to make a Dex saving throw. Oh shit! As the fist just misses you entirely. Ah! That fucking hurt!
It could save your life. Hold
Ah, don't be
still.
such a damn baby!
I assume that didn't do enough, really. I need to do it again.
Yeah, you might need to do it again.
So, there is some more.
Alright. This time he doesn't try and punch you again. He just sort of grunts and then sort of lies back. And you note that he's now taking deep breaths as compared to the shallow breaths he was taking before.
There. Some of the damage inside has been mended by the great holy flame.
Zitem just sort of looks at him and then sort of looks at his wound, makes sure it's closed up, and she looks at me and says, thanks, even though, you could have done it. I mean, you shouldn't have hurt him. I mean, seriously, you're a healer. Couldn't you have just done it without the pain?
That is not the way the flame works.
In any case, Kagak seems to have sort of gone off into a restful sleep, sort of passing out after fighting with this wound for several days. Zutem sort of looks at you and goes, thanks, I guess.
Just give thanks unto the spirit of fire.
Sure. Anyways, if you want anything, we don't have anything, so you can get out now.
Alright.
She's trying to hide it, but you do get the sense that she's grateful to you for helping out. I think the Japanese have a word for this, because they have a term for every goddamn weird human condition. Or character archetype, I should say. The fuck is it?
I don't know. I'd be
Damn
delighted
it.
not to know any Japanese terms.
We just don't have enough people who are versed in Japanese nonsense here.
Thank God.
Yeah. Well, If you in the comments section happen to know the term, feel free to share it with Josiah so it's forever burned into his memory.
I'll forget it tomorrow.
Oh, if you think I haven't started Googling weird Japanese phrases to tell him, Ren, you would be wrong.
All right. So, what do you guys
Like
do?
a rogue. All right. I leave. I
Okay.
did my thing.
Yep, I will follow him out.
All right.
Same.
It's about 5 o'clock now, so it's starting to get a bit late. So you figure if you're going to the cutting room, you should probably hurry it up.
Now, did he say the cutting room or somewhere else that has better stuff, but that he doesn't have a deal?
He said that Grick's Weaponry, and this is a place that Corwin would have heard of because it's quite well known for its high quality weaponry. Has better is better quality, but he doesn't have a deal with Grick's Weaponry.
I don't see that. Where is it?
Grick's Weaponry is on Caravan Way. It's right near the gate.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, it's a major institution in the city.
Yeah, considering my last staff turned to sawdust in my hands, I'm going to be wanting to go to Grick's Weapon.
Oh, that's right. You also broke your weapon. But, so you don't want to go with Jaina at the cutting room?
Well, I guess we're right next to the cutting room, so we could check it out, at least.
Yeah, we're right here. Kind of.
All right. So you head over to the cutting room. And as you enter, the strangely bright and cheery Chenna is there to greet you. Oh, hi there. Hi. It's good to see you all. Are you here for more money? You shouldn't be because I already paid the protection fee, so why are you here? Oh, do you want me to tell you about these sinking sticks I've got? You know, they are serrated on the edge. So what happens is that once you get them in the flesh and just pull out, it causes all that subcutaneous tissue to get yanked out as well. It's really gross. And she's, again, saying
Sub what now?
subcutaneous tissue.
Jomo think you making up words.
Anyway, so what can I do for you? Are you here? Oh, you must be here for the games tomorrow, right? Ben said he'd be sending someone along.
Yeah, that's us.
All right, well, in that case, you've got. I can offer you a small discount on any of my wares.
You got armor or just weapons?
I have just. I focus on weapons here.
You got anything like this? I'll show her the broken G.
I don't have anything like that, but I could take my hand at fixing it.
How long would it take?
I could have it to you in the morning.
All right.
How about a staff? Do you have one of those?
I do have several staffs. Like this one, it's barbed on one end so that you can easily stab into a person's eye or in their throat. And she begins going on, rattling off the gory details of her many weapons again.
Yeah, I don't need really barbs or hooks or any extra methods of hurting. From what I understand, these games are non-lethal, so just a staff will do.
Okay, boring. But yeah, I've got a staff, and she goes into the back and brings out a quarterstaff. It's a little bit. it's a little bit dodgy looking. I mean, it's not quite as nice as your quarterstaff was, but it looks like it's sturdy enough. That'll be a slate piece.
Okay, thank you.
As for you, this sort of weapon I can probably do for, I don't know, 10 enamel pieces?
What?
Well, I mean, this is a pretty high-quality piece of equipment you got here, and you want me to fix it, so...
I didn't even pay that much for it in the first place.
Well, actually, a G goes for about 25 enamel pieces.
Oh.
I mean, you got your G for free as part of your character background.
Exactly, so I didn't even pay that much for it in the first place. I'm not lying. I thought we had a discount or something.
This is a discount.
You got the short sword?
Yeah?
How much is that?
That goes for 10... Well, I guess I can let you have it for about 8 enamel pieces.
Does Corbin get the sense that if he were to invoke weapons of the mind in the arena, that would be a bad thing?
Would invoking weapons of the mind, so in other words, would using magic in front of thousands of people potentially be a bad idea?
Well, it says the power is drawn from within yourself. But is that still arcane? I imagine it probably still is, considering I've seen it on the wizard sheet.
But
yeah.
It's easier to conceal, but again, this is... it's easier to conceal, but you're going to be doing it in front of a whole bunch of people, including some Templars.
Okay. That's fine. Then Corin will not offer his short swords then. Okay.
Okay. So, what? What'd you say? So what's, Joma, what's your decision regarding the staff being repaired?
It's too much.
Well, I think it's a pretty fair deal.
We did just get paid. I mean, if you want your spear back, then she can fix it.
Yeah, but that's like half of how much we got paid for the whole thing, just to fix a weapon.
Was it 50 enamel each or 50 total for us?
50 total.
I fix things for people for free.
Okay, but can you fix this for free?
No.
So it sounds to me like you're not really in a position to argue here. If you want this weapon back, then your only option pretty much is to have it repaired.
Alright, I'll just go tell Ven you didn't want to help us win for him.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out too well. Try and make a persuasion check. Yeah, I think I'm being more than fair by charging you only 10 ammo pieces. I mean, you wrecked the end of this thing pretty badly.
How about this? If you repair it for free, we will give you inside information as to who to bet on in tomorrow's game.
but I'm not betting on anyone in tomorrow's game.
That's what I'm saying. You should be. It's a sure thing.
Are you going to tell me to bet on you?
Well, I can't just give away that kind of information for free. We're trading it for repair.
Okay, if you don't want your thing repaired, then you don't have to get repaired here, okay?
Fine, give it back.
Oh man, Jomo's not gonna get his G fix. How is he gonna catch his dinner now? Anyway, so she hands back the G. Well, so, is there anything else?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Alright, well, good luck at the match tomorrow! With the broken spear!
All right, let's get out of here.
Alright, so you leave the cutting room. It's now about 5:15. What do you want to do?
Well, I'm guessing you'd want to go to Grick's weaponry.
Because not having a main weapon could kind of be a deleterious thing to you in gladiatorial combat,
I have a
Jomo.
dagger.
You have a It's true, you do have a dagger. I'm gonna say right now you're probably gonna want something more.
Well, let's start over to Grick's weapons.
That's probably a good idea. Remember it from my tours in the city. I'll take you there. And Corbin will lead him over to Grick's weapon.
Right, just need to... Okay, so it takes you about an hour to get there.
I just had a thought. If Chen is a weaponsmith, maybe she'd take some of that iron ore in trade for fixing your.
I
maybe
don't
these
want her
Grick's
to
people.
fix it. I don't like her.
Well, maybe these people at this other shop will.
Anyways, so you walk into Grick's weaponry, and you're immediately struck with how the place is filled with weapons and armor everywhere. And in fact, let me, if I'm right. Yes, Grick's weaponry does have its own little. So everyone can see that?
Yes.
Alright, so you see Grick, this almost middle-aged male, just working away at a battle axe, while a dwarf is in the background and he's sharpening a spear. So, what do you do?
I'll start looking at the weapons.
Okay. There is an astonishing collection of weapons there. You even actually notice that he has what looks like a G in stock. And behind in a specially locked cage, you actually see some metal weapons. Which is not a sight that any of you have beheld very often.
Well, I definitely take some time to admire those.
From what I hear, this place has the best weapons and armaments here.
You got that, damn right. And the mole sort of pushes himself away from the battle axe that he was working on. Name's Grick. So, what can I do you for?
The proprietor, yes. My friends are looking for a bit of weaponry. It's a bit that theirs have gone awry recently.
I see. Well, let me tell you, when it comes to weapons, I'm your man, or mole. I've personally seen that many of these weapons have been tested to my exacting specification. So, what can I get you?
Let me take a look at something in a spear, please.
All right. Murd. And the dwarf in the back sort of grunts. Show him that spear you're working on. And grunting again, Murd comes over and sort of thrusts the spear he was sharpening out in front of you. So this has been sharpened to perfection. Won't find a spear much better than this unless you want to go metal, and want to go metal, then we have to start talking about a whole different price range.
How much is that?
For a metal spear?
No, not metal.
For just this spear? 1 enamel piece. What about that broken bit? G. That's what they're called, right? On your back there.
How much for the G?
G, that runs for 25 enamel pieces.
This is ridiculous. You people are thieves in the city.
Nothing being thieves about it, friend.
I figure Jomo has never actually purchased a weapon in his life and has no concept of how much weapons cost, since the only time he ever had weapons was when he was with the raiding tribe, and they would have just given him the weapons he needed to raid with, and they would have just taken weapons from the people they raided. So the prices of weapons relative to the prices of everything else in the economy seem completely absurd to him. Like, you could live on the price of a G for like 6 months.
Well, I mean, actually, as long as you were living an appropriately squalid lifestyle, you could actually survive on the price of a G for about 6 months. I can also repair that G you have there.
How much for that?
Well, And he takes a closer look. It looks like that G's seen battle, and you know what? A weapon used is much better than a weapon worn for show. So I tell you what, I like you. I can have it repaired for, say, 12 enamel pieces.
Jomo gonna fight with this weapon tomorrow in the stadium in the Memorial Games. Could tell everybody got my weapon repaired at Grix if we win.
Okay, make a persuasion check. Nope. Grixor says, nice try, but 12 enamel pieces is as low as I'm going on this one. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than getting a brand new G, and I can assure you that it'll be as good as new. And I say this as someone who's spent many years in the arena myself.
Dagger will be good enough.
Well, you know, perhaps a certain sort of a trade could be acquired. I could make for you a great, a great painting scene that would accentuate your shop and just bring life to the place.
Here we go.
Do you think I need a painting? Not exactly what my customers come in here for. But
Well, of course, but it'll bring wider clientele to the place.
Make a persuasion check, Nox, but this is going to be a two-stage one, because first off, you're going to need to convince him the necessity of, yeah, that's not going to do it. Yeah, I don't need a painting. Look, if you want to do a trade, I'm open to that. Even though I prefer hard coins, so do you have anything that I might want?
Well, you make weapons out of metal. Do you smelt your own iron ore?
Ordinarily, I have it smelted for me, but I've had a little bit of practice at it myself, yeah. Why do you ask?
Well, hold on. I'll be back in a couple minutes. And I will just run across the way to whatever place we left that thing at.
Messenger's Mount.
Yeah, because it's just right down the road from us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I will grab the ore and bring it back.
In the meantime, Corwin will mention, I do happen to have a surplus of crossbow bolts if you might be willing to acquire those.
How many crossbow bolts?
I've got an extra, say, 30 of them.
He sort of thinks for a second about that. And... sec. All right, I can give you 3 slate pieces for 30.
Corwin will kind of think to himself and, all right, yeah, I'll make that trade. And, yeah, he'll go ahead and do that.
All right. Greg takes possession of the crossbows. Some of these are kind of mangy. I'll probably just use them for testing rather than try and sell them to my clientele, but here's your slate pieces, and he tosses out 3 slate pieces.
Okay, yeah, he'll go ahead and take those.
What about darts? You got them?
I've got darts, yeah.
How much is darts?
For each one, 5 ceramic pieces.
So how much would it be for... Gemma's not good at math. For 20 of them.
20 of them? That'll be about 100 ceramic pieces, so that'll be 1 enamel piece.
Okay. Gemma will take those.
Alright. And he collects some darts that are made from bone that have been carved extremely well and passes them to you. So you now have 20 darts.
Great.
And Sinclair, I guess around this time you arrive back from the Messenger's Mount.
Yep. So yeah, I'll just show him a piece of the ore.
Wow. Huh. Normally I have to go through one of the trading houses or the Templars to get my hands on some iron. Not gonna ask where you got this from, but I could make a deal for this. So, what do you say? This ore for me repairing that G?
Okay, I would like to make a perception check to see if he's trying to swindle me, and kind of also
That would be
Corwin
that would be more of an insight check.
insight check then.
Okay, go ahead.
And I will burn inspiration to give myself advantage.
Okay. You don't think he's trying to swindle you. You think that he's definitely a hard bargainer, but he's not a swindler. He's actually you feel like he's pretty earnest about his prices. He does really good quality work, and he's fair in his trades.
That seems fair to me. What do you say, Corwin? You probably know prices better than I do in this market.
Yeah, Corwin will think to himself, and a small lump of iron, kind of mentally sort of price it out, and yeah, that's rather within the price range, I'd say.
I'll just take 2 of these lumps. You can keep the third one. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, you've got a deal. As long as that G's ready for first thing in the morning so we can be in the games.
I guarantee it. When I'm done with it, you'll never be able to tell it was broken in the first place.
Okay. Jomo kind of reluctantly gives up the broken G. Do you guarantee it?
Oh, Tim.
Nice.
And then the first fight of the gladiatorial stadium, he breaks it again.
Oh, it's now too valuable to ever use. I can't take the risk of breaking it. It's like I'm fighting with a
Just
Fabergé fucking egg.
Yes, Jomo's Obsidian G.
I'm gonna fucking lock that thing in a vault.
It probably is the most expensive item any of us own.
I don't know. I think the ceramic button is a bit more expensive than that.
Fucking button.
We're not talking about priceless items, Knock.
Okay,
I
all right.
will find some way to dever that button, Nox. I will find some way to dever that button away from you.
Not his great aunt's button.
Anyways, it's getting late now, so if you let me get to my work. Murd, come on. Let's get to work. And Murd just sort of grunts again and heads back. It's a very Jomo track right now.
Playing the drum.
Yeah, you never attempted to play your drum. That could have done something.
It's a time to drum. And a time to not drum.
Okay.
That's what Book of Ecclesiastes tells us.
So, are you ready to head back to your wonderful home?
Well, I want to kind of, as we're leaving, see if I can gather up the guys, make sure there's nobody around that would overhear us or anything. Maybe just talk as we walk.
Okay. Go ahead.
And just say, so I still want to deliver this letter to House Void that Edu sent us with. I was hoping that Ven would have a different answer, but I don't feel comfortable not doing it. What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, you said you would do it, so we gotta do it.
Well, if you're intent on delivering that, I'd imagine probably the Warden Market in Iron Square would be the best place to start.
Yeah, I mean, Nox, you do know that they have their main office as well as their emporium there, so either of those places would be a good place to head to.
Yeah, he would mention that.
Yeah, okay, so let's go to, which one do you think would be better?
And he'll kind of think, and I'm thinking probably the offices. The marketplace can end up getting a bit crowded.
All right.
Okay.
You make your way to the Iron Square and to the Warden main office. As you approach, there's a guard standing outside, a Warden guard standing outside the door, and he sort of looks at you and says, "What's your business here at House Warden?"
So before we get there, I would just tell Jomo and Corwin to stay. If any word of this gets back to Ven, I don't want it coming down on them too. And then approach if there are no objections.
Okay.
Corbin would be fine with that.
All right, and I head up to the guard
All right.
and say, "Yes, I have a message from Sada regarding your guards there."
A message from Well, that sounds like something Talara would probably want to handle. You can head inside.
I do so.
All right. You head inside, and as you do so, you're struck by how richly appointed the building is. various scrimshaws and appointments are on the walls, paintings and and also metal weapons as well as just iron ore are shown in display cases as you walk in.
Okay.
Man who looks sort of like a receptionist is standing there. Hello, can I help you?
Yes, I need to speak to Talara.
Well, that's somewhat irregular at this hour. But I suppose that's fine. What matter are you discussing this about?
I have a message for her. Or
Oh,
him.
all right. I don't know if I can schedule a meeting right away, but if you wish to give me the letter, I can then ensure the message reaches her.
I'm sorry, I was instructed to deliver it to her directly.
Oh,
You
technically weren't given that instruction, but
Yeah, I know.
all right. Make a persuasion check.
Ooh.
Look, it'll just take 2 minutes. She'll want to hear this.
I'm afraid I really can't. If you just leave me the message, I'll ensure that she receives it. Otherwise, you can try and meet her in the daytime. She oftentimes is at the Emporium.
Your name?
My name is Drixit.
Okay, Drixit. You've got a trustworthy face. I'll leave you this letter, but be sure you deliver it to her directly.
Very well.
Your guards in Sada are attempting to betray you. This is from the elder there, describing everything that's happened.
He sort of is taken aback by that. That's quite a claim, and you're saying this is from... Oh my. Well, I'll certainly ensure that that Lady Talara gets us. Who are you?
A concerned citizen.
But a name. I expect she'd want a name.
And then I'll just turn around and leave.
Sir, you, Oh, dear. Should I get the guards to know? And he just sort of slumps down. No one ever listens to me. And you walk out of the offices.
In before the letter is like, "Greetings, lady. I hope that my friend Sinclair, staying in the Kagan cart, has brought you this letter in time."
Mm-hmm.
Please ensure no note of this gets back to Ven, whom I'm sure he wouldn't want to know about this.
All right. So, do you want to head back to the Kanken cart now?
I don't have anything else to accomplish.
All right. You make your way back to the Kanken cart. You're feeling weary, but you feel like you've accomplished some things today. Searshoe, you can still see out the corner of your eye, just sort of huffing that you didn't charge anything for the letter. But other than that, and for you, I imagine that's probably a plus.
Oh god, yeah. I was thinking about tipping him, to be honest.
All right. It's about 5:30 now in the game. And so are you all just going to go up to your room to rest? Your lovely, lovely room.
Yeah.
All right. So as you head into your room and settle down for the night to rest...
Is there a book on carpentry at that shop?
There is.
Okay. Note to self. Repair the inn.
All right, and as you do that, you all have just got 100 experience points.
Yay.
Wow.
Congratulations, you are level 3.
Da-na-na-na.
Awesome.
So that means you can now begin doing your level 3 things. But that's not all. You guys have all fulfilled enough of your animus to get another fate bonus. So, Jomo, for your Fate of the Hermit, you have unlocked proficiency in Healer's Kit, which uses intelligence.
Okay, wait, what?
Alright, for the Hermit, you've basically done enough actions to unlock proficiency in Healer's Kit, which will use intelligence. So basically, I can ask you to make a Healer's Kit check. And you can do it with proficiency.
What's the difference between that and making a medicine check?
A Healer's Kit check would mean that you are directly applying, you're actually doing things like binding wounds. A medicine check would be more just assessing the condition of the person.
This feels like a downgrade. Now you're going to be making me make a check that I have like a -2 instead of something I have a really high +2.
You know, that is actually fair. So if you'd like, I can attempt to rethink and give you something else.
Sure. Unless a healer's kit just... I mean, I don't know.
Well, you know what? Let me think on it, and I will let you know by email, okay?
Okay.
Corwin, you have proficiency in Tinker's Kit now, thanks to your Fate, the High Priestess.
Interesting. Okay.
Sinclair, for the Magician, you have proficiency with Poisoner's Kit.
Whoa, alright.
And other than that, you level up to level 3 in both your classes. So you are now level 3 for Corwin, level 3 Wizard, level 3 Rogue. For Sinclair, you are a level 3 Monk, level 3 Mystic. And for Jomo, you are a level 3 Fighter and a level 3 Cleric.
Sweet. I'm now a elemental champion, or whatever it's called. A champion of elemental chaos. And I have 2nd level spells. Well, I pre-did some of my stuff, so mine's done.
Oh, okay. Are you two ready, or should... I'm thinking this might be a good point to end off for the night.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm not ready.
Okay. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, that finishes off our session for the night. So, in the next session, the gladiatorial games. Josiah, take us out.
Sounds exciting. Okay. Well then, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Dungeons & Dragons. This is the Shattered Crown campaign with DM Scito, a 5th edition Dark Sun D&D campaign. We'll see you next time.